It's time for Florida State football. This is the Jimbo Fisher Show. The Jimbo Fisher Show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery, over $30 billion and counting to education. Just imagine. The energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas. Coca-Cola, try a game changer of your own. Taste the feeling. SunTrust, the official bank of Florida State Athletics. Ram, come in and get a great deal on the best trucks during Ram Power Days. And by Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe. Hello and welcome to the Jimbo Fisher Show as we kick off 2016. And Coach, what a way to kick things off. Congratulations. 45-34, really an exhilarating start to the season for Florida State.
I guess that's a word for it. It was interesting, but it was first games. You never know what to expect. And we did about everything you could do wrong in the first half. But the thing about it, kept fighting and kept it close. As I said, you managed it and you kept it manageable to where you could still be in the football game. And then we got things turned around in the second half. Proud of our guys. I mean, we got a lot of work to do, though. I mean, we've got to clean a lot of things up and not put ourselves in those positions anymore. There's no reason to. But at least you know that our guys do have fight, and we're capable of doing that. And had some great young guys playing some big roles in all three phases of the game last night that were very critical and hopefully will carry on throughout the season.
Scored on 9 straight possessions as part of that comeback win against a quality team from the SEC. I'm going to ask you the question that I've already been asked probably dozens of times, and that is, what was the difference first half to second half?
I think composure. And I think really going back to your fundamentals and not getting caught in the emotion of the game and wanting to do too much. And then communication. I mean, like in the secondary and our defense, guys weren't making the call. They had the calls or get lined up just 2 feet to the right or 2 feet to the left properly. Emotion of the game, first time they've been in, communicating the coverages back and forth. And you had some mistakes. Offensively, just trying to do too much, panicking as far as wanting to jump and getting anxious on things. And that's not keeping your composure and putting yourself in some bad situations. But then be able to manage that 2-minute drive was critical. But then the second half, we relaxed and went back to playing our game and did the things we had to do.
You said keeping your composure. You never know until you know. Well, DeAndre Francois seemed pretty composed as the big lights came on and that game wore on.
He did, and there was a couple times on the sideline he'd come off and he was kind of frustrated. You could see it, but you got to go through that. That's part of growing up, and he did, and that was one of the things I was the most proudest of and worried about, because sometimes when you're young, you want to make things up too quick, and he just kept playing the game and taking what it gave him, and then we got momentum and got to rolling.
We will get to the highlights. Game number 1 here on the 2016 season. FSU and Ole Miss. It's coming up right after this here on the Jimbo Fisher Show. Welcome back, Coach. One thing's for sure, you said a lot during the preseason. When Ole Miss and a quality opponent is number one on the ledger, you didn't have any attention or any trouble getting their attention leading in. But what was your message before the game as we got set to kick?
Just we want to go play our game. We were set. We had a hard camp. We had a tough camp. Trust your coaching, trust your training, and trust yourself. And I think early we still didn't do that as much as we wanted to. And then we finally did and got going. But, you have to go through those moments. And you have to put yourself out there and then have great eye discipline in what you were doing and react and play. Don't think. React and play football.
Great crowd on hand at Camping World Stadium.
What an environment now. That was a great atmosphere, great environment. And I tell you what, you want to talk about some greatness right here? Those young freshman kickers playing really. All right, and here we are in the first drive. We get them down, got them to a 3rd and 4 right here, playing really well. And then we have a miscommunication in the secondary. Didn't get lined up. You see the guy running across the field right there, and we had a bust. And we left the guy standing wide open. Luckily, he turned into a touchdown off the bat. And it was just a total miscommunication in the first 3rd down. And that got them momentum, and they got rolling. And a great effort. Now, it was great to see number 6 back on the field now, Matthew Thomas. You talk about a guy, he had a few mistakes, but you talk about flashed and made plays, and tell you what, the guy can be a difference maker for us. Well, they hit a little rail route down the sideline. We get a good hit, but they got it going. Chad's a good play. They had a run-pass option here, what we call an RPO, and they popped a slant in the backside and made the play. And, off the bat, you're down 7-0. And we come in, get a nice little bootleg right here, find a nice flat throw out here to Travis Rudolph. Had a nice night. But 12, they're just managing the game, taking what they give him. Here we go. First 3rd down. Did much better on our 3rd down situations last night. 3rd and short, we ran the ball much better. Had one that we didn't get, but for the most part, did a good job. Here we go. Hard play action. Had a shot down the field. it's close, this one, or the out route we had, but, at least he's being aggressive. I'd like to see him pull him across the field just a little bit more. A shame. I hope that young man didn't hurt too bad. I hated to see that now. Here they come on blitz on third down. And we got to pick that up a little quick. Guys put a hat on a hat, but we give too much penetration back in the backfield on the quarterback, and they cause us to punt. But I tell you what, Logan Tyler, what his kickoffs and punting last night? Averaged almost 44 yards a punt, somewhere around there last night. I'm not exactly what that was, but it was pretty high. And his kickoffs, almost every one of them out of the end zone, are non-returnable.
Right at 44.
Yeah, really good. Good hang time, not many returns. Here they are. They on the roll, and once there's no huddle teams get you going. That's the key. Their rhythm and timing. And Chad Kelly, throwing the ball, running the ball, boy, makes good decisions. He's a good football player for them now. Really good player. Here they go, get a ball. And we get the pick right here by Derwin James, which was critical in the game early, get momentum back. Here we get a nice run. Kermit on a little speed sweep, but they end up knocking it down only for a couple yards. Here we get a nice little screen pass out here to forward. I tell you what, and we talk about Dalvin, he only had 91 yards rushing, but he had 101 receiving, 192 total yards. I believe that's probably his first 100-yard game receiving, but it shows you his versatility. Here on third down, they covered everybody. The third option guy was covered, and that's the way it was. Now, defense, again, on the run inside, I thought we did a nice job. There's Derek Nottie. Jacob Pugh had a nice night. Had half a sack and made some really good plays in the game. There's Derek Nottie again inside. The guy's going to be a really good football player. He's got to keep playing. And they get a little play action. There's DeMarcus Walker. Almost got him another sack, but he flushed it outside. Right there to Jacob Pugh again. Put him on the ground. There's Derwin back up in there. Josh Sweat. Get a nice little stretch play here. Get about 4 or 5 on the outside. Dalvin, when he doesn't get anything, they don't look like much. It still gets a lot. Then we got a little quick pass coming here. Bobo Wilson had a great night, over 100 yards receiving. Really nice night, catch and run. Did some real nice things with the football. Ball getting out of DeAndre's hands very well. He got in a little rhythm right here. And again, a lot of options on the other side of the field. Saw Dalvin one-on-one on the backside. Again, if we can get the ball in 4's hands, we're going to do it. A lot of different ways. Faked a little play action here. And they probably covered this. But I'm going to tell you what, you talk about a nice throw, laid it right in between two guys. A little chancy, but hey, sometimes you got to do that. And 4 goes up and makes a play. That was a big play in that drive. Here we go on the backside. A dump off to a third receiver. You saw he got pressure, but he went to 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to tell you what, 9 is really changing it. This guy's starting to run with that low pad level, being that big back we want him to be, and playing really hard and aggressive. Look at this. I mean, he's pushing the piles. I liked how he ran last night. I really did. Jaquez had a nice night. We got to keep getting him more on the field. Here we on a little naked again. Find Travis. And if we could have got to him just a hair quicker, Travis got his foot down. He had a chance to get on the sideline for a touchdown. Now here, this is the one play I wish he'd have went ahead and called timeout. The clock was running down. He should have saw it and called time. Then we got to a third down here. We're trying to get Auden Tate in the back of the end zone right there. They played it a tough 3rd and 9 from the 9. Those are tough calls. But we ain't got a field goal out of it. And Ricky Guayo got his first of 6 that he had on the night. And just great to know that he's hitting those kicks, and it was a great job by him. Again, now there's Logan Tyler. I think he just made a field goal there on the kickoff. But now they got a nice run. We got to get the guy tackle a little better, Tavares. Josh Sweat chasing the football. Out there on a little run pass option, but Derwin getting down there, making the play, doing a nice job. Again, over pursued. That's the one thing sometimes when you're too quick. And right there, Matthew Thomas, see him grabbing his hand. He dislocated his finger. Cost us a timeout because he ran off the field. We had 10 guys. No one knew it, and I had to call timeout. Now they get a little pump, a bubble pump, hit the inside seam route, and they get the fade. Now Tavares has it. I mean, he has the pick, and then it gets bumped up, and the guy gets behind him. But you'll see he grew from this because later on in the game, he went and got him another one. And that's part of these guys' first time playing. Now, this is the one series DeAndre got a little tentative. He needed to make that screen throw right there. It was wide open. But then right here, we missed a twist inside with 78-76. They can't let that happen. That was on him too quick. We had a drag route coming wide open. And a big 3 and out. That was critical after they had just scored, too. We were losing momentum of the football game. Another great punt here by Logan. And they got on a roll, and they started hitting the go routes. Got one there on Marcus. But I'm going to tell you, their receivers, big, strong, and athletic. Now, you talk about pretty guys, really pretty. Then they found the middle of the field. We got misaligned. They got in a hurry-up, no huddle, got the rhythm going, popped the big tight end right down the middle. And then they get a sprint out. Throwback screen. Well, what a good play by Matthew Thomas. You're going to hear a lot of that before this year's out now. This guy is going to be a really, really good football player. And it's a big thing. He still has some little things going wrong, but he hadn't played. You remember he hadn't played in 2 years. Actually, this wasn't his guy. We had a bust upside one of the guys blitzed that should have been dropping and would have covered that, and Matthew was going to go with the back, and he realized they didn't do it, so he tried to come back over and help the play. But, this is big here. We get a nice throw out here to Bobo, and we start getting back down the field. I mean, what I liked here, get a little screen route inside. But, right here, 12 just kept his composure. After he had the bad little series last series, and he come right back in and got right back in rhythm. That shows mental toughness, and I was very proud of him doing that. Again, another little dump down to third receiver right here to Dalvin Cook coming out of the backfield. We just keep nickel and diamond, getting it down the field. Well, this is great job here. He went to a third receiver on the backside after the first two was covered on third down. We got the interference call, which is a great read by him. Get a little boot right here, and we throw the little screen back. Old trail route to Dalvin. And I want to see, I don't know if he's fixing to raise the ball up. I don't know why he took it out of his arm and not just run through. That just shows you anything can happen to anybody. That guy's as good a player as there is in America. And he just dropped the ball. And then we didn't get in. We missed a block here, didn't block out on the Saul blitz. Have a nice throw right here. We just slipped right through 15's hands. And, we dropped the ball, missed that one, and then lose a touchdown now. I mean, that was critical. But again, got a field goal. So everything could go wrong. Went wrong. Even we had wide open touchdowns. But again, guys kept playing. We kept saying, just keep chopping wood. Just keep playing. But right here, Ole Miss is hot. They're making good decisions, finding guys open, and Chad's getting them the football, and their receivers are running wild. They're doing a nice job. They run it back in here. We got a missed call. 27's got a field right there, and then 9 can't be up the field so far, and our tackle snatched the guy the wrong way, and we created a scene, and they ran it out. Now right here, Kermit on the return. Thought he had a nice night. We're one block away from breaking that sucker right there. But we had one out across the 50, and Kermit had a nice night. This is a critical drive right here. Bobo Wilson getting a little crossing route. Now get north-south. Get north-south. Get as much as you can. I love the rhythm throwing right here by 12. He had a backside route. We had a one-on-one on the other side. He went back to the other side and took that route. He started seeing the field really good. This ball right here to Bobo. Again, a third receiver on the backside of a route. Read a tight end inside and worked all the way to this backside. And he's flowing with the calls. Again, another little dump down to Dalvin inside. Keep getting the guys, just nickel and diming them down the field. And it's something we do a lot of practice time in 2 minutes before the half. Boy, right here. That turf kept giving away on him. You see, he never felt his footing really good. And this right here, you talk about when you win your teammates. This is as big a play it was in the game to me that got us back with a 2-score game. What happened, 77 got his foot stepped on and tripped. They got a clean hit. He stands in the pocket, knowing he's going to get hit, took the shot, delivered the ball down the field, and got us back to a 28-13 game. And then we had the ball coming out the second half. So we're going to score 10 points here before they can touch it, which allowed us to get back in the game, and that's one of the reasons you defer. When we talk about you, I talk with you all the time about that. Score right before the half, get the ball coming out the second half, and get momentum in the game, get points, and try to get back in the game or steal a game right there.
Situational football. You do stress those key times of the game and the end of the second quarter being one of them.
We practice a lot of that. I mean, we try to build it into the kid's head because psychologically you got to understand what you're trying to accomplish and how important it is to the outcome of the football game.
The big play there was the touchdown. Just take us through that one more time as Francois. He had to stand in there and take a lick before he delivered that football.
Their big rusher, Tim, who could really rush the passer. They had 10.5 sacks on him last year. Rod's got him and one of our guards happened to step out and set his guy, stepped on his foot. And so it tripped him. The guy came scot-free, and you see the route coming open. DeAndre knows it inside. It's coming open. Travis made a great move to get by the backer, and he's standing there. And this is where you win your teammates. When they see you on film, stand in there and knowing that there's a big linebacker or a D lineman coming at you, and you're willing to stand in there and take one right in the chops to deliver a touchdown pass for us to have success. That's what it's about. And to me, that's what playing quarterback's about. That's what everybody talks about the skill level and your arm talent. Let me tell you something. If you're not competitive and tough, you can't play the position. And if they're not competitive and tough, your team's not competitive and tough. And he did it.
He certainly showed some toughness on that play. 28-13 at the half, Ole Miss with the lead, but Florida State, depending on how the third quarter starts, trying to get some momentum, and it did work out that way. We'll look at the second half highlights when we come back. Welcome back to the show, Jimbo. As we already talked about, you deferred, so you get the ball, and obviously you want to pick up where you left off at the end of the second quarter.
We have to get the momentum back, and we told them, the defense, go stop them, and you're 2 possessions away. And unfortunately, we got a field goal in the first drive, but still, we're right back in the football game and got momentum, and that's critical. And I keep talking about that all the time. Critical momentum in the football game. There's Bobo Wilson getting on the crossing route, getting north-south with his catches, doing a great job. DeAndre getting that ball out of his hands, again, finding a flat route out here to 4, one-on-one, anytime you get it to him, we're going to go at him. And right here, I wish he could have hit the out route. He took a chance right here, and the coverage, it did dictate, but they gave him enough room to hit it, and we'll learn from that and look at it. But Ricky Aguayo coming back in, getting a critical field goal. So that's 10 points we got without them ever touching the ball, so that put us right back in the ball game. And then here we go. Tip ball, interception. Now we got the momentum going. Now it starts snowballing, and it flipped. The worst thing for a team to get, how well they've played over and over and over, and I'll look up and say, that team is still with us. Now here, we had a little reverse fake, and DeAndre saw the end coming, faked it to him, pulled it himself, which you always have the run-pass options on that stuff, and you can pull that on that side and almost scored. And we turn around, ran a belly lead up in there to Freddie Stevenson, and Fred Jones and the boys leading right there. Big Rod Johnson right behind him. Eberle, who had a good, nice, solid game, and they did a nice job. Kick right there, about 6-7 yards deep. And I tell you what, we covered kicks very well. Lost contain here just a hair, but it's still, every kick that they returned, they never got outside the 25. So it was very critical. Again here, now DeMarcus Walker, this is big right here. I thought it was the biggest play of the second half. We had that one interception, but this one here created that one, and this one's what's going to put us over the top. And 2 back-to-back turnovers by our defense. That's the thing you can't remember. They forced 4 turnovers in this game, and we had none. We didn't have any. That was critical. Little power play here. We had to miss that block at wideout right there. He might have scored on the first one. Get another power play inside. Stumbled just a hair. The backer comes shooting through. It's tough to enter 1-2, 3rd and 2. And we want to get, they give us the edge. We flipped it up to Kermit, get him out there with the lead blocker. It's hard to contain a little fast guy like that now getting to the edge. And we got that reverse, and then we got the lead and got things going. And that was a great block by Freddie Stevenson. You talk about an unsung hero of our team now. Ryan Izzo, who had a nice ball game on tonight, did some great things, but those guys all just was critical to get back ahead. Now we went for the 2-point play. I wish right here, if Dalvin could have got out, we'd have had it inside. He got tied up. His guy ended up covering the guy by accident. But I don't know. It might have been too early to go for it. I went ahead and did it. If I did it again, I don't know if I would have done it. But yeah, that's part of ball. But again, defense really now just hounding. Just playing well, making plays on balls, no uncovered guy. We're pressuring the quarterback, making him uncomfortable to where he doesn't. There's Levante Taylor, great freshman. You talk about going in and making plays, and that guy's going to be a heck of a football player for us. Going to play a lot of football. Now this here, I guess it's free, but the ball hadn't hit him. This is a tough rule for me. He got hurt right there a little bit, but he banged it up. Little naked route. Look at DeAndre getting another shot. Ryan Izzo again. This little nickel, and those tight ends, man, they can nickel and dime you and all of a sudden get vertical on you. Did a nice job. Here we go. DeAndre on a 3rd down. When you go 2-man, here's the thing about it. When you want to go man-to-man underneath, the 3rd best, we always go 1-2, and your 3rd best option, quarterback run, because there's nobody left. And that's one of the things we teach and playing the position of quarterback. Here it is again, checking it down to a nice crossing route. There's Devontae Phillips, who I've said had a nice camp, got his first catches, getting in the ball game. This guy's got a chance to be a really good player and keep coming on. Here we get a little naked, fake it, pull it around, a little tight end throwback this time. And Izzo getting down to the 1-yard line, which was critical, 1 or 2 yard line. That was really good. And, great to see DeAndre using all of his weapons. Here we get a play action. They covered the back and the flat, got Izzo right in the back of the end zone. That was critical for us and getting that ball in the end zone. A great throw and catch right there. And 2 great sophomores right there, Ryan Izzo and Jacquez Patrick and Derek Kelly. Good job to see him in there. All the guys, Ricky Leonard. Just happy for all those guys. They're going to get better and better. Here now, you talk about a great play. Taking on a blocker in space and making a tackle. That number 3 is pretty good.
Led the team in tackles again. Yeah, this just in.
Tip ball right there. I don't know if that was DeMarcus Christmas, who had a real solid game inside. Very happy with him. Again, there gets some pressure by Sweat. There's that guy again, 44. 4.5 sacks in the second half. You talk about a guy who's a leader, a great teammate, a great person, just everything. You talk about loves to play ball. Everything about him, boy. Take 100 of him. Now we're running a little power play. Had a 3rd down right here, 3rd and 13. And they were blitzing playing man. So when you pop a power play up in there and hit that seam, there's nobody left. So we took a chance on 3rd down. It came out right. Now, DeAndre just managing the game, taking what they give him, being patient, getting the ball out of his hands, eliminate negative plays, making very accurate throws. Now here he is, that little naked route. They covered the flat this time, but Bobo's 1-on-1. Now a nice comeback, and DeAndre throwing the ball on the run, very critical. Here we have a nice little zone play back up inside. Get 4 or 5 yards by Dalvin, and just keep nickel and diming it up and down the field. Again here, find a little, they're covering Dalvin in the flat now. So we worked it back inside the Bobo. Him making the right choices, the right decisions. Now right here, we had the route coming open, and we got pressure, which was very disappointing there, but it was the right call. His arm was going forward on the pass play, and we were able to get the field goal. And again, Ricky coming in, and man, that was critical. Ricky just had a heck of a night, 6 field goals.
School record.
Yeah, wow. Here we go, pressure again, but they get the one play. We got a bust right there. We got a miscommunication again on the coverage. They got a one-on-one down the field, and it doesn't take them long now. They're a good team. We forget. They get a one-on-one. That was a good call. They had Trey. Trey grabbed a hold of him. Relayed the flag. They learned to go route out there, and great throw by their guy. Now, this is critical right here. Look at who's blitzing right there and getting right in the lane, making the ball come out quick, Derwin James, and kept it at 5 points instead of 3. That's critical. Now they got to score a touchdown instead of field goal. So now we got to take a big drive. Kermit gets the return right here and does a nice job. I'm going to tell you what, boy, he was one step from getting out of here, boy. Took it on a bounce and got it out to the 50. Good field position. Thing about offense, we stayed aggressive, and our guys just kept executing, didn't worry about winning the game. This is right here, 3rd and long. We throw a vertical. You talk about standing in the pocket and delivering the ball down the middle of the field. Wow, great throw and catch by he and Travis Rudolph. There's Nooney. Naquan Murray in the game had some nice plays. He's really developing into a good player. There's Dalvin on the outside. He got 2 or 3 right there, and they had it going. Good little play action. Throw a little flip screen out here. I like this call. Just so we get 4 or 5 yards, it really increased our field goal range here, and he knew that, so he took the guaranteed 5 yards with the little screen, and that way it got the field goal back. Instead of being 3rd and long, we ended up with a negative play and got it back to an 8-point game, which was very critical. And he's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Nice tackle right here by Trey Marshall. Now this is where our defense, boy, they got negative yards in the 3rd quarter and only 70 for the whole 2nd half. And here they come. Derek Noddy, Jacob Pugh, DeMarcus Walker. Those guys really putting the pressure on. Really putting the pressure on. Again right here. Boy, inches. Just nice 5-yard run right there. Dalvin just keeps sawing wood, pounding up in there. Izzo, Wilson Bell, those guys, they really got it going in the 2nd half. 380-some yards of offense in the 2nd half, I believe we had. There again, DeAndre taking Kermit on a little slant route inside. That was like 2nd option. Run a little naked pass play right here. They covered the flat again. Bobo Wilson went to his 2nd read, made a throw right on the run, got the ball up above his shoulder very nicely and threw the football. And now he's seeing the run pass options, got the screen going on the outside. Now we got momentum. Now we got this thing rolling. And now he hit a little speed sweep. Now we blocked it right. We missed the block the first time. Now we pick up 6 or 8 yards. That's all you need. And unfortunately, that's the one time we missed a 3rd and 1 right there that was disappointing. We could have scored a touchdown, and but got it back to 11 points, which made it a 2-score game. Here they go here. Again, pressure. No one, that's a coverage sack right there. DeMarcus Walker, Derek Noddy, Jacob Pugh, Josh Sweat. Those guys really getting in there and putting the pressure. There's Matthew and those guys playing inside. We get the interference call. No, this is the one that Tavares breaks up. I'm sorry. Almost got a pick. He gets it later, but almost had it on that play. They come back on this side. They had a miscommunication on a go or a sit-down route. Marquez White right there doing a nice job. And there's that guy again, 44. There's that guy. Just doing a tremendous job getting inside and putting pressure on the quarterback. 4.5 and a half now. What a football player. And then they throw the go route, and then right there, Tavares played it. Now he's poised, been in the game a little longer. Things are seeing it better. That's a huge pick. And then our offense did a great job here. We run the last 4 minutes of the game out by running the football and being physical. This is a little planned run right here with the quarterback. Now, you talk about 2 things we did here that were very unselfish. Him right there could have gained more yards and went out of bounds. He kept the clock running. And Dalvin on the first play was a 20-yard run, and he was running with it and stayed inbounds, slid, so we kept the clock running. That's the best playing ball right there. Victory.
Exactly, victory formation. There's a lot of things we could discuss on this, but when you have a quarterback who's a redshirt freshman starting for the very first time, doesn't turn it over and throws for over 400 yards and looks pretty composed, that got the headlines.
It did, and quarterbacks get all the glory and all the blame, and that's the way it goes. I thought our receivers did a nice job. The line in the 2nd half really did a nice job once they settled down. Bobo has a career game. Even Dalvin has 100 yards receiving, plus 91 rushing. And tight ends, Ryan Izzo, and we just distribute the ball, but defense creates 4 turnovers in the 2nd half and 4.5 sacks. Or 5 sacks in the 2nd half, all in the 2nd half. Controlled to give up 70 yards for a half against a team of that quality and had that much going against them, the momentum. And then you have 2 freshman kickers, a punter and a kicker and a kickoff guy that make every kick, hit everything they do. The holder, Jack Steed, did a great job. Our snappers, our special teams. didn't turn the football over. I mean, there was a lot of good, but there's so much room for improvement. That's good. I can be mad all week.
You mentioned the big play of the second half, and 4 turnovers forced by your defense, but the biggest one there, you had cut it to a 1-score game, and this turnover ultimately led to you taking the lead. It was DeMarcus Walker right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and to go with that play, because he had 4.5 sacks, and he not only gets a sack, he gets a strip, causes a fumble. Marcus Lewis was big in that half too, but getting that right there was so critical. And then DeVaris with the sealing play, the sealing interception at the end. But DeMarcus, what a football game he played, and it got us going, and we got the ball in the end zone, and then we never looked back.
ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week, and
Wow.
DeAndre Francois got a lot of honors from the ACC as well. All right, well, that one's done. We turn the page, a short week, and
real quick.
We get set for the home opener. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Today's final stats are presented by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Inside the Helmet is presented by Hyundai.
DeMarcus Christmas, redshirt sophomore, defensive tackle from Sarasota, Florida. I didn't get nobody really said anything about my last name until I actually got to college. I get called Merry Christmas. I'm always asked, do I have an aunt named Merry Christmas? I do. I get called different holidays. The first sport I ever played was basketball. I played that all the way up until the 5th grade because in my hometown, Sarasota, I was supposed to play at the Redskins field, but they had a weight limit, and I was always over the weight limit. So I didn't play football until I moved to Manatee County, and I played at the PAL League. And that's when I fell in love with the game of football. I have a good-sized family back at home. Mostly everybody stays in one area, so you pretty much see them every day. If you walk down the road, you have an aunt that stay right down the road. My mom try to make it to every game. She makes it to all the home games. She doesn't go to the away games. But all the other family, they'll root me on TV. I get in from the game, and I look at my phone, have over 100 text messages from family telling me how I did and stuff. My first car was a Crown Vic. I call it the squeak machine because the springs, every time you hit a bump, squeak. I love to fish. I fish saltwater, freshwater. I fish anywhere, go offshore fishing. I love to fish. That's my getaway. My heroes was my mom and my dad. I learned a lot from them, seeing the way that they helped me grow up, watching them do the things they did helped me a lot in life, become a man. Every time I step on the field is for them, make them proud. The toughest part from high school to college was time management. In high school, you really didn't have like a schedule, but in college, you have, in the morning, you got breakfast, class, tutoring, practice, study hall, or tutoring again, then you back at home, and every day is pretty much the same thing. Once Florida State offered me and I had came here and visited, I loved everything about it. The coaches made it seem like they made me feel that I was home, family oriented, and I loved everything about it. Just being part of a tribe, being part of this team, it's a brotherhood that I wanted, and all the different personalities that come together makes it a great brotherhood. My first time stepping on the field, it was very eye-opening. It was the greatest experience I ever had. I went out, I was kind of nervous seeing all those people, all the fans. It felt good. Once I played my first play, it felt good. I was like, wow, this is what I've been nervous about.
Hey, wait. Bring it up on me. Bring it up on me.
Bring it up. Y'all go get water.
Water right here. Stay in your group.
The Seminoles have been active in the community, running football camps and reaching out to the youth at various schools.
It gives me enjoyment that, I made it to a level that where I can have an impact on people.
The desire to reach out in the community spurs from the way some of these athletes grew up.
Always keeping in mind where I come from, my background, how I was raised, and those made me who I am. Just seeing all the things that's going on and seeing what I didn't want to be and the people in my community that I didn't want to become.
You got it in me. Let's go. Y'all be good. Y'all want some water?
When I was little, I looked up to somebody and I wanted them to make my day. So if I go make a kid day, I'll go do it any day.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
For players like Dalvin Cook, they have been active in the community for a while. But over time, the want to help others grew throughout the team.
I seem to pick up a lot. In the locker room, we talk about it, and guys like, yeah, I want to go. And once you see that reaction, I know they're serious about doing it, and we just all get on one accord and we just go do it.
I seen Dalvin and Travis them doing it, and I was like, dang, I want to do that. I want to make people feel better. So I started doing it, and then guys see me doing it, and they do it. So I hope people see that we're not only playing football, but we're helping the community.
And they all have different messages for the kids that they interact with.
Growing up, my mom stressed school. So, if I could stress what my mom stressed to me, my words to them make them want to go to school and encourage them to listen to their teachers and stuff like that.
There's really a different way out. And it doesn't have to be just football. If they want to be a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer, or a pilot, just let them know to be the best be the best they can at whatever it is they want to be.
Hold up, back,
It brightened my day, especially on the inside. I kind of hold emotions in a little bit, but when I sit down and think about it, I made this kid day. It just showed that I'm doing something for the community, and that's what I love to do.
Guys on Instagram or Twitter, they always tweet us and say, thanks for coming out of school. You really made a difference in us, man. They always say we're really role models. They just really like us coming to talk to them, and they want to be just like us. And so it's good for us to do things like that, get out in the community and help those guys out.
The impact they've had in the community bonds the Seminoles together even more. And they believe it's a great foundation for an amazing season.
I think it's showing their character, and I just think that's us. That's us around this university and on this team. I think we got some good guys in the locker room, and that's just their heart. It's a good heart.
Especially everybody that was there, all key players on the team. It just really shows the work ethic, dedication, and I feel like that's a great start for a championship run.
The Look Ahead is presented by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Register to win a football fantasy experience at knowlescontest.com.
Coach, you get set for your home opener this week. Charleston Southern comes to town, and this is a very quality football team that you're getting ready to play.
National quarterfinal team a year ago. Went to overtime with the four-time defending national champions in their opening game. Used to winning, great players, very well coached, and those 1AA teams are. I coached there. This is a heck of a program, a heck of a team.
And the other challenge for you is it's a short work week. You only get a couple practices, a lot to overcome.
Not going to get much time to work on them as far as on the field. We will mentally in the film room do as much because we got to get our guys healthy and got to get them rested because you got to play that game with energy. And these short weeks are tough.
It's a early kick. Should be a great crowd as we get a look at the new and improved Doak Campbell Stadium. We know we'll see you out there next week, and we'll of course have the highlights here on the Jimbo Fisher Show. But we've still got some final thoughts straight ahead, so stay with us.
We're inside the Nutrition Center here at Florida State. We've got Chris Burkett here, a registered dietitian. And a lot of people are trying to be conscientious of what they eat nowadays. And it all starts with food labels. But not a lot of people know exactly how to read it. So let's try to dissect this, starting from top to bottom. This is the only thing I ever read is the calories and serving sizes.
Right.
So what are we looking for there?
Okay, so the first thing that we're looking at is the actual serving size. So what a lot of people get confused about is that they think the serving size is the entire container, when that's not true. You know, you go and you eat an entire bag of chips, and then you end up eating 1,000 calories worth of chips. And so one thing to look at here in this example is that the serving size is 2/3 of a cup. And the actual container holds 8 servings. So that's about 5 cups. And the calories, if you ate the whole thing, would be about 1,800 calories out of this whole nutrition facts label. So that's a really important thing to look at.
Probably want to slim down a couple sizing and portion sizes there.
Exactly.
So, I mean, like I said, for me, and if there's a lot of people like me, I mean, we stop right there at the calories, but all this seems pretty important as well.
Right.
So what are we looking for down here?
So in the rest of the label, one thing that we want to look at is definitely fats. So saturated fats are normally going to be what we call omega-6s. Really, Americans, we get way too many omega-6 fatty acids when we need to get more unsaturated fatty acids, which are called omega-3s, because those are actually anti-inflammatory and heart protective, whereas a saturated fat would be heart detrimental. It can increase your rates of hypertension or high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease. Another thing to look at is going to be trans fats. But those are actually banned now by the FDA, and so everything you see should have 0 grams of trans fats on the label.
And as we move further and further down, we've got fiber and sodium that you want to look at. How does this affect what you eat?
Sodium also affects your heart. Increased blood pressure is one of the detriments of too much sodium. So we want to look at a lower sodium product. And then one of the things with dietary fiber is that there's 2 types, soluble and insoluble, which a lot of people don't realize. So you know on the Cheerios package where it claims it's heart healthy, that's because it's high in soluble fiber, because what soluble fiber does is it actually lowers your total body cholesterol. It can help lower your total body cholesterol. And so you want a higher fiber product because it's going to help lower your cholesterol potentially, and it's going to help keep you fuller longer.
We go to ingredients. Obviously, the example we have here doesn't exactly have full ingredients.
Right.
But what do you want to look for at the lower third of a nutrition fact?
So one of the big things is hidden sugars and added sugars. So sugar alcohols are kind of a hidden sugar. Anything that ends in OL is going to be a sugar alcohol. Xylitol, mannitol are just a couple of examples, and those can actually increase your gastric distress, or tummy aches basically. So that's one important thing to look at on the ingredients list for sure.
Definitely some important stuff you need to know as you head out to the grocery store. You can follow the nutrition at FSU Fuel on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you guys next time.
As we finish up, just some closing comments. Coach, one thing, we didn't see DeAndre Francois run until, a couple quarters into the game, but then it really seemed to open things up. Was it a conscious decision to not run? Is it just a matter of taking what they give? Or just talk about how you handle it with your quarterback.
You got to feel. You got to read coverage and feel pressure. And then once he started seeing the field and the game slowed down, and they started playing a lot of man under coverage. They were trying zones, and he was hitting the hole. So they said, okay, we're going to play man. Well, when you play man, the thing about it is, when the quarterback breaks contain or breaks the pocket, there's no one left. There's big runs. He was feeling that, making good decisions that way. We had a couple planned quarterback runs that he did, and we picked up nice plays on that we can do occasionally. But it was just him getting in the flow of the game. And sometimes those opportunities, when they in rush lanes are getting to you, sometimes they're not there. You know what I mean? Guys they get on you, they sack you, and they were doing that early. And in the second half, our line, even when they were covering down the field, they were still keeping people off and creating a lane that he could step up in, see, and then be able to use his feet and get out.
I mentioned the improvements to Doak Campbell Stadium. Coach, one thing's for sure, if there's a controversial call and you need a good look at it, there's a video board big enough to grant you a good look now.
I hope so.
It is going to be great to see the excitement that goes with being back at home. Coach, congratulations. It's a long season ahead, but one is in the books, and we'll be back here next week, same time, and we'll take a look at the Charleston Southern highlights. We'll see you then on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
This has been the Jimbo Fisher Show, brought to you by the Florida Lottery, over $30 billion and counting to education. Just imagine. The energy-saving conservation programs of Tico People's Gas. Coca-Cola, try a game changer of your own. Taste the feeling. SunTrust, the official bank of Florida State Athletics. And by Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe.